Hello lovely people. This may be a video in which I cry, but please don't worry about it. I'm just in exceptional amounts of pain. So don't panic, it's just, you know, life with chronic pain. It be how it be. Moving on. Today's video, it's about my face and how much I hate it currently. And I don't mean the, oh my god, I'm about to be a parent, is that a wrinkle I see kind of way, because, you know, god, I really wish it was that simple. This isn't cosmetic and Facetune won't help it. It doesn't help anyone. And no amount of loving myself will fix the problem either, because it bloody hurts. Every time I eat, I have to be painstakingly aware of every bite I take, because as soon as I stop thinking about my jaw and holding it in the correct position, smush, it's out of place and my teeth have clashed together. It's like being punched in the face by my own face. Why is this happening? Why does my jaw dislocate from my skull on one side, and why do I have this horrid sensation of empty pain right in front of my ear? Have you ever twisted your ankle? You know that feeling when you don't move it? So it's not like the sharp ouch pain when you move it, the kind of like pain when it's just hurting all the time. That's because I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and conveniently, May is EDS Awareness Month. So let's talk about it. Also, for those of you who have been paying attention in other videos and playing the Has Jessica's Face Changed game, yes, getting Botox in my jaw just before Christmas did help my jaw, but it wore off much faster than my doctor expected it to, and I've been waiting for my second injection, which was meant to be 3 months after, but COVID. We're jumping ahead of ourselves though. Let's get back to the basics. For those who don't even know what it is, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. What is it and why does it make my jaw fall off? Well, the Ehlers-Danlos syndromes are a group of connective tissue disorders that can be inherited and are varied in both how they affect the body and in their genetic causes. I'm not kidding, there is absolutely no point in ever trying to compare. Please do not panic if your symptoms and my symptoms do not match up, even though we've been diagnosed with the same thing. It's not anything to worry about, it's just that it's a very variable thing. Bodies, they be weird sometimes. EDS, as it's generally known, is generally characterised by joint hypermobility, so joints that stretch further than normal, skin hypertension, skin that can be stretched further than normal, mine's not actually that scratchy, and tissue fragility. You can click the link in the top left hand corner of this video right now to watch another of my videos which goes further into depth about EDS, but in brief, Did I just pop my thumb out? Yes I did. Should I not have done that? You know how you have some days? Today is not my day. Last night I managed to fall over and I hit my face on my own foot. I kicked myself in the face. Anyway, the Ehlers-Danlos syndromes are caused by different genetic defects in collagen. Collagen is one of the major structural components of the body. It's a fibrous protein and used as a tough building block in the body, which is essential in both strengthening connective tissues, like bones, and providing flexibility where needed, like cartilage. So people with EDS can have weak collagen or weirdly shaped collagen, which I think is far more exciting. So this impacts our skin, muscles, skeleton, and blood vessels, and yeah, it can really make your jaw hurt. Just gonna hold it there. So mouth and jaw structures are affected differently in the various types of EDS, obviously. Now, as you can imagine, your jaw moves a lot. We eat, we speak, we yawn, we drink, we laugh, we kiss, we apparently chew gum, which in all honesty, I have never understood as a concept. Never got anything from gum chewing, but I do love learning about other people, so please tell me your gum chewing love story in the comments below. Mouth and jaw symptoms are pretty common in people with all types of EDS, as there's a lot going on in this area. So there's a lot of blood vessels, there's gum tissue, there's nerve tissue, there's bones, there's teeth, there's tendons, there's ligament. It moves a lot, it's often at risk of injury from foreign bodies, which it then, you know, takes forever to repair. Case in point, it's not a freckle. Fell over 3 months ago and scraped my hand on a wall, and now I just have a random dot on my hand. Oh, no, sorry. Pulls to hold my jaw on. Right, let's pretend I'm a doctor. Wow, it's almost like I'm a real one instantly. Technically, I'm always a doctor because I have a PhD. My wife says it isn't real because it's only an honorary one, but she's just bitter because she has an actual medical doctorate and a profession and sounds like a grown-up, and midwives' faces don't say what the hell is that when she tries to explain what her job is. Definitely that. let's pull up a diagram of the jaw joint. Golly, that's complex. The temporomandibular joint, or TMJ, and its muscles are also associated with functions of the head and neck. They don't just work independently, so keep that in mind as well. An overly mobile TMJ is linked to other overly mobile joints, and of course, much like any joint in EDS, the TMJ often comes out of place. But this is worse, because I can strap my arm up, I have a power chair, my wife is pretty good at popping my hip back in place. I mean, admittedly, she hasn't had to try it since becoming heavily pregnant. I mean, knowing her, she'd give it a good go. But when it's your face that you use to frigging eat and talk, it's just worse. I'm not sure if you've noticed, but I do have rather a habit of doing that. My jaw does relocate pretty easily once it's been overextended, but it causes a lot of pain that then limits the mobility. My muscles, particularly in my neck on that side, tend to contract uncontrollably in a spasm and limit my ability to eat, to the extent that once I've injured my jaw, which is stuck, and I need someone to remove the, whatever I was eating. Oh yes, it's 100% glamour, 100% of the time here. Pause to hold my jaw in place, glamorously. Weird jaw opening and chewing motions can be diagnostic of jaw joint disorder, otherwise known as temporomandibular disorder, or TMD, which is a wonderfully long word. In this case, weird is defined by such symptoms as the jaw stuck to the side, limitation of opening, inability to chew, pain in front of the ear, yeah, no kidding, headaches in the temples or side of the jaw, tooth pain, inability to turn the head or neck, inability to get the back teeth together, fullness, itching or pain in the ears, popping or grating with movement of the TMJ. Of those, my main symptom is probably over this. See, I used to be mildly bothered that my face is unequal, and I'm probably not going to be posting lots of pictures of the right side of my face anytime soon. But really, I've been making videos for 5 years. My mouth has been doing this weirdly slanty thing for the majority of that time. So, clearly I don't get that much. Says the girl who harshly parts her hair to cover the bad side. It's a vintage thing. Also, I'm blind in that side, so it just makes more sense. Psych, it doesn't even cover the bad side, it just makes sure that the overgrown side that I don't like has to be turned towards the camera and thus blends in. Not that I've put any thought into this. Not at all. Ahem. In all honesty, I just want the pain to stop, which is what I sob yelled at my GP, who directed me to the NHS website, which told me to do eat soft food like pasta, omelettes and soup. Because clearly I was reaching for the muesli. Take paracetamol or ibuprofen. Hold ice packs or heat packs to the jaw, whichever feels better, not having a jaw. Massage the painful jaw muscles. Try to find ways to relax. Do not chew gum or pen tops. Who is doing that? Who regularly dislocates their jaw and yet continues to choose to actively chew when they do not have to? I barely want to put anything in my mouth. I have to eat. To require one chew. Ugh. Do not bite food with your front teeth. I didn't actually get this one at first, but then I tried to bite a chicken wing. I know, don't ask. Foolish. Do not yawn too wide. Do not bite your nails. Do not clench your teeth. Apart from when eating, your teeth should be apart. Which is hilarious because I can't actually get them back together, so. Do not rest your chin on your hand. Which is, sad because that's how I get my admittedly very tiny relief. Ugh, I cannot with this. None of this speaks of long-term relief, however. And that is the real crux of the matter. What, if anything, is the point? I did find a fix though. My dentist/wife, don't worry, I didn't marry my dentist, I dentisted my wife, although I don't think it's actually against the rules to date your dentist, referred me straight to the maxillofacial department at the local hospital, who took one look at me, said, yep, your face is wonky, this bit is too loose, this bit is working too hard, I'm going to inject some Botox into the big bit so it calms down, and the other side has a chance to start working. I know, I already covered this in another video, but this is like an update, which I probably should have said at the start, but shouldn't you have seen that one? I don't know. Is this even an update? So yeah, had the Botox in December. Gave me a bit of a migraine, I think, for 5 days. Then it worked pretty well for 2 months. And I felt like the mouth thing, where I very much talk out of one side of my mouth. But it definitely did help this side of my face calm down and this side of my face start to work. Around my period, all of my joints get a lot looser. It's much harder to deal with. My jaw is much worse. I tend to wake up in the morning and be like, oh, fun times. My face is in agony because my jaw dislocated in the night. I mean, like it subluxes, so it kind of like comes out and goes back in a bit. Doesn't like fully dislocate, not the way it does when sometimes I'm eating. Anyway, so I wake up with a really painful face. And it didn't do that for 2 months, which was great. And then the 3rd month, it was very much like, oh, this is starting again. Okay, clearly this Botox is worn off. But the hospital told me that I'd get my appointment again in 3 months' time, but golly, I haven't heard from them. Claudia was like, well, we should just wait because they will send you a letter. And they did not send me a letter. And then it got to 4th month and they still had not sent me a letter. So we contacted them and they said, we'll book you an appointment, but it can't be for another month. I was like, well, golly, that seems far away. And then a few days before that appointment, they said, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to cancel it, or else you can be seen at a different hospital that's half an hour away. And we were like, well, okay, I guess we'll be seen at the different hospital then. Why would we say cancel it? So they sent us to the other hospital, which you can see in my I Dressed Like a Princess for a Week video. And we went there, and the lady there was like, oh, this isn't my area. I don't even do Botox. I'm referring you back. And I was like, so you're not gonna put Botox in my face? You'll need actually a checkup before anyone does that. So then I had to wait another four weeks. 4 weeks, Christ. After I went all the way to the other hospital, I now have to wait 4 weeks. After that, I must have a migraine. 4 weeks after that, I had to go the previous doctor who did inject my face, but that is 1 week before the baby comes. And she may not inject my face. She may just look at my face, say, yes, I will inject it again, come back later, and I'll be like, uh-huh. How? Because you may not have noticed, lady, but this might be an overshare, but I don't drive. I got here because my wife drove me. That's not going to help my migraine. Yes, so I'm rather panicking because for some reason, everything in my life now has a start and an end date, and I've decided that this baby is, this is it. So everything in my life needs to be completed by the date of the baby being born, which I'm not sure is the case. Pretty sure people do continue to live a life after their child is born, do go on to do things, but I feel a lot like everyone around me has just kind of told me that, not everyone around me, that's not fair, but a lot of other people who already have babies have told me that I won't really be able to do anything. Whoa, this is not what this video is about. Jeez. You know the nice thing, I kind of set up my channel so that I can make videos for basically younger me, so I can be like, hey, don't worry, when you grow up, life is fine. Like, you can live and do fun and amazing stuff and be disabled, and it doesn't mean what like sad life that books and movies say. You can still go on adventures and fall in love and be a parent and do it well. So I guess that's the next stage, but I kind of have to do it first. So I'll live it first. So this video is about my TMJ, pain in my jaw, and the fact that I would very much like some more Botox injected into my face. Subscribe if you enjoy more videos like this. If your jaw hurts, my jaw hurts too, and I understand your pain. That was pretty uplifting. It's fine. Mwah. And today's question from a Kellgren-Fozard club member is from Anna Jackson, who says, Jessica, do Quakers have baptisms? Quakers do not have baptisms. We tend to have a welcoming into the local meeting. However, my father was not a Quaker when I was born and had been brought up a member of the Church of England. So I also was christened in the Church of England. And that is why I have godparents.